it's I, near the star pizza pie, that's amore. Hello, everybody. I am Pinstar, and this is DaXenos Pizza, a preview of the Megacorp expansion. So, just figured I'd give you guys a little song there to start off with. And yes, we are here in our home system. And some of you eagle-eyed people will note there are some changes. So, a lot to cover today, so let's get to it. Now, first thing we usually will do before doing, well, anything is taking a look at our researches, picking our first research. And we still have the three different flavors of research here. The hell? Okay, 3 maniacals. Okay, I'll roll with it. Anyway, you'll notice that some of these are changed. Like, for example, quantum theory here. Physics research from researchers is increased by 20%. Gone are the biolabs and physics labs and engineering labs. These are essentially their replacements. You don't actually have to build them. They enhance your natural researchers. You can also get bonuses to outputs for the external research stations dotted around your empire here. As far as which one I wanted to go with, we could also go with deflectors. Deflectors are never a bad thing. You know what? We're going to go with quantum theory. We'll go with the passive bonus here. Always good to research faster. Now let's take a look here. Off-World Trading Company is good, but not good right at the start of the game. Also, you don't start with this tech as a Megacorp, oddly enough, but it makes sense. These things are a lot more powerful, so you kind of have to work for it. Unity is good. Campaigns are okay. Well, maybe we could go for that. I mean, I do kind of want to get the society research going too. Let's circle back to that. We'll get the society research first for the same reason. Can we go for all three? No. Okay. We're gonna get the increased research speed for all three. Well, it looks like we're doing either some military tech or the civilian fabricators. Now, gone are your traditional system of upgrades where you have to go in and physically upgrade every single building. Here, upgrades are the exception, not the rule, and this allows you to build an upgraded civilian manufacturing industry, but you need rare crystals for it. That 45 there that you see on the right, yeah, those we don't have access to. So no reason to research this tech right now. I think it's better for us. Let's get the metal armor. Let's give us a little bit of military tech. Now then, we also want to grab our construction ship and tell it to build something. This is pretty much the same here, although you'll notice the values here are a bit different. Numbers are a bit higher, and that's across the board. The other thing is, you can build these straight from minerals, and they are now a base of 100. No matter what you're building, it's always 100. Always felt weird for them to be like 90. And we start the game with 100, so there's our 100 minerals. Boom. We do also start with our science ship. I could do with a better trait than Roamer, but I'll live. And of course we've got our local area here. All right. How about I send you here to here to here to here? Right. Now, let's take a look at our capital here. Because this is where the special sauce is, right here. This whole planetary screen is very different. So the way things work here is you still have your planet size here, and essentially the number of districts that you can build here, well, think of these four as the foundations of the planet. What are you physically covering the surface of your planet with? Are you covering it with farms? Are you covering it with mines? Are you covering it with power plants? Or are you covering it with cities? And your ability to cover the planet with certain types of tiles can be planet dependent. As you can see here, our homeworld's actually pretty fertile, or at least potentially fertile. We've got some tile blockers in the way here. That's what those little hash marks are there. But pretty potentially fertile compared to its potential as mining and generators here. But you can also, in addition to these, you can also build up city districts, which gives a lot more room for people to live. And that's where people are employed in more advanced industries. So you'll also notice that we start out with 28 pops. Yeah, pops are, you're going to be dealing with a lot larger numbers of pops in this expansion here. So having 28 from the start, that's nothing unusual. And they'll be growing from there. That's why the rapid breeder trait is such an important one. And it gives you a quick glance with the current population and how many jobs do we have. So everybody is employed, no unemployment. There's housing. So your pops are maintained by a number of different resources now. Some are physical tangential resources and others are just things that are present on the planet. So you need to have enough housing for your pops, which our pops currently have. We have 7 available housing, and the more available housing you have, the more your planet has for immigration pull, the more attractive it is to migrants. Now, granted, we don't know anyone who could migrate to us at the moment, but that could become more important later. Amenities are sort of like services. The Starbuckses, or in this case, the pizza places is of that, and the having enough amenities to entertain and satisfy the population is important for maintaining stability. But having more than you need gives you a bonus to citizen pop happiness, which also gives you a bonus to stability. Stability, as you can see here, we've got a pretty decent stability, and as you can see, effects from high stability, resources from jobs, plus 8%. So having higher stability gives us not only more resources, but more trade value and more immigration pull. So we like stability. And at the moment, there is no crime. We've got our crime happens naturally from pops, but we've also got enforcers on the planet to help reduce that crime. Even in a nice society, you need some police. We are also generating 47.44 trade value. More on how we're going to use this later. So let's take a look at our population themselves. So the way the system works as far as breaking population out goes is your workers are split into 3 different strata. You've got the rulers, the specialists, and the workers. And as you can see from the numbers here, there are very few rulers. More, but still not as many specialists as there are workers, and that's by design. Even if you are not playing an authoritarian empire, even if you're playing egalitarian, you still have these different classes. Just how these different classes relate to your empire is there's some egalitarian pull here because we're deviants. Wow, even on our homeworld with that, we're going to have to keep an eye on that before they turn into a faction. So down here, within each strata, the actual jobs being worked can be very different. We've got technicians who are making electricity for us, miners who are making raw metals for us, farmers making raw food for us, and clerks are making us both amenities and trade value, the 2 things that our race is good at. So we've got like super powered ultra mega clerks. And we've also got a lot of them. So our traits are giving us big Boku bonuses right from the get-go. Now for specialists, these are the next class up. But again, these run the gambit all over the place. You got your researchers that turn consumer goods into science. You got your metallurgists, which are turning raw metals into alloys, which you need to build stuff in space and ships. The enforcer is creating more crime reduction, essentially. And as you can see, we got our quarrelsome thing taking a little hit there. Not to our effectiveness of crime, and it doesn't give you a penalty to crime, but just the unity that these guys normally produce is a little bit less. And then we got our artisans here. These artisans turn raw minerals into consumer goods, which are then used by people and also other jobs. Now, the people themselves, as you look down there at the bottom, the upkeep. Well, not that person specifically. Let's use a worker for a better thing here. So each individual person consumes food, consumer goods, and also occupies housing and amenities, which isn't listed on there. Now, as you can see here, the workers are only using 0.1 consumer goods, whereas our, let's use someone that doesn't do that, 0.5 consumer goods for our specialists, and our rulers are, they're using a full consumer good each. That's kind of where our economic strata comes into play, and how authoritarianism works because it doesn't automatically turn your people into slaves. You have to take civics for that now. But even then, your poor get poorer and your rich get richer. But in the net benefit of that is it saves you some money in terms of consumer goods, which are now, instead of it just being a drain on your minerals, are now its own thing that need to be produced. Right then, now we've got a building slot available here, which we can build, and this is where those jobs, those specialist jobs come from. The civilian industries, which turn minerals into consumer goods, the commercial zones that employ all those clerks, the alloy factories, which turn the minerals. These are all doing these things for us, and as we get every 5 people on the planet, we open up new building slots, which allows us to do more stuff. So you can specialize your planets pretty heftily. And you also have to make a choice between your districts and your buildings in terms of what you're focusing on. Because districts take up space that could otherwise be used for city districts. On the flip side, the districts here come with their own housing. Not as much housing as a city district, but they essentially, when you focus a lot on these, it makes your planet like very suburban, very sprawling, where all the people are spread out. It's not very highly developed. There aren't a lot of big cities, but it's tapping into a lot of the raw resources. Whereas a more urban area will want to focus on building and using the planetary size to build city districts, and then focusing on creating lots and lots of jobs with the buildings, because these buildings, unlike these districts, do not come with their own housing. So you need a little bit more of an urbanized area in order to maintain and provide enough housing for everybody here. Okay. I bet you guys want me to start playing the damn game. Well, I will. Few more things, though. I'll probably have another episode where I actually start playing the game, but I want to show you guys everything. I do, I swear. So we got our resources. Energy credits are still energy credits. Minerals are still minerals. Food is still food. Consumer goods, as I mentioned before, are its own thing now. That are used by both industries to refine them into other materials, into other aspects, as well as just consumed by your pops on a baseline level. Alloys, again, used for shipbuilding and spaceborne objects. If we were to build an outpost to claim territory, that takes alloys. And of course, we have unity. I won't get into the trees until another episode, because I'm sure you guys are sick of me yapping. And you know what? We'll get into some of the other new things here a little bit later. But before we unpause, there's a few things I want to go into with the policies. One of the policies that I noticed here is that it used to be you could do food stockpiling as your thing. Now, the food policy is now strict rationing, dietary balance, or nutritional plentitude. Basically, you can give your pops less or more or normal amounts of food for different effects. Now here at DaXenos Pizza, we're a food company. Of course, our people gotta eat. You know, even the poor, even the downtrodden, the salt of the earth workers need their pizza. It is a food for everybody, so we're going to enact a nutritional plentitude. Now, we have to pay 25% more food per pop in order to keep this maintained, but we get more pop growth speed, and that makes them happier. So, yay. Boom. Nutritional plentitude. Get. Right then, let's unpause, shall we? Because I'd build a building here in Amore, but we lack the minerals. Raw minerals do still go to the construction of buildings, so we're going to need a little bit more of that. Oh, now one thing here in shipyards, we do start the game with 100 alloy, so we can order a new science ship right off the bat. And also, all your civilian craft are now also constructed at shipyards along with your military craft. Here in the population, we can see our next pop is growing, and once they grow, they will attempt to find an open job. At the moment, there are no open jobs, but I'll be fixing that momentarily once we get a little bit more minerals here. All right, we got the mining station complete. We got the new thing here. Let's go grab ourselves a new scientist here. Jeez, another maniacal. What? My people have just gone insane. I guess we can go with the... Oh, I don't know which one I want to go with. I don't really want the resilient, but it might be a good idea. Fine. Resilient. There we go. And then you, my friend, I want you to survey up over here. Like so. Ooh. An Alpine world. Yeah, these guys like their arid worlds. Alpine was my last playthrough, where it would have been good. Let's see. What else do we want? We'll go with the mining station here, and then we'll start hooking up the research. Because as you can see, yeah, you get a lot of minerals from the base. This is not even an empire that is supercharged to make a metric F ton of minerals. This is just the new scale here. Whoa, challenging? Not when you're level 1. Also, one of the new resources here is trade value. As we progress a little bit further, I will show you how that works. And trade value is kind of the key to this empire's sort of how they work. And a lot of their bonuses is tied into trade value. One other interesting thing here that I've found. Oops. All right, whoa. Slow down there, people. Yes, we want habitable worlds. Situation log revised. We want to start building. And so now that we've gotten some minerals underway here. No, I said pause. Dang it. Now that we're underway here, we can build here. And as you can see, we have our choices here about what we can do. And each of these different buildings will provide a number of different jobs. And really, that's the limiting factor, is you want those jobs. Because otherwise you can't just say, oh, you go work as a scientist. You need enough labs to employ those scientists. But I think we're going to go with the corporate culture site. This is the new monument here. So this employs 2 managers. And as you can see down there, managers, it turn consumer goods into Unity and trade value and society research. So they're pretty powerful. This particular monument is limited to one per planet for a reason, because those manager jobs are pretty darn strong. And even though we do have a penalty to the Unity bits, the trade value and society research is nothing to turn our nose up to. So, boom. The other thing that we'll want to do here is we've got 2 of our blockers. And while those blockers aren't really hurting us right now, there's a reason why we'd want to actually take one out sooner rather than later. See these sprawling slums? When you clear out a sprawling slums, it creates a pop. You essentially round up all the random people in those slums and put them to work in your empire, which is useful to us. So we're going to pay the thing to get that extra pop. And that'll finish as soon as the corporate culture site is. So huzzah. And then we can, let's hook up the research here. All right, folks, I think we're off to the races. So in our next episode, we will do a lot more exploring, more empire building, more explaining, more everything, and more pizza. So go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and leave me a comment down below. If you have any questions about the gameplay, let me know. And if you have your favorite pizza topping, let us know in the comments below. Part of the reason why I made this race deviant quarrelsome is it's an entire planet of people who can't agree on pizza toppings. So until next time, this has been Pinstar signing out. See ya!